you know that a truck should have hose on it. So.
Yeah, so send those clips in. Get us those clips so we can react to it. But we had somebody send us a clip, and as I started researching like clips to show, Hollywood has an obsession with people's eyes, I guess. So we reacted a few months ago where the EMT is a motorcycle wreck, and or paramedic or whoever, she like pushes the guy's eyes back into his skull.
Yeah, I've totally done that.
Yeah, that's definitely what you should do. No, don't. If you're watching this show and you don't know, don't do that. Anyways, I rolled across this one and I was like, "What is happening?" So, anyways, let's roll this clip and see what's going on here.
All right.
911, what's your emergency?
Get a little volume.
Yeah, there's a random motorcycle on fire at Hacienda Park. We definitely don't know how it happened.
So what, now they got self-driving motorcycles?
Would that defeat the point?
That rider couldn't have gone far. Buck, Eddie, hose that down and turn that bike off.
I'm already really intrigued as to...
Have you seen people do this where they put the motorcycle wheel on the spinning thing?
Oh, okay. That's where this is heading. I was like, what is
That's
going
what they're
on?
doing.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he didn't crash and like land right there.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what...
anything.
A video like this online, that bike wasn't on fire. Hey, can you hear me? All right, let's get him off of there.
So his eyeballs are blowing out for some reason.
Yeah.
He's spinning around so fast, I guess his eyeballs popped out.
Dilated.
Yeah.
He's shot in the line.
Both eyes.
Well, they checking a pulse? He looks dead to me.
Yeah, he looks dead. If I saw that, I'd be like,
Depending on
pulse
how many
check.
times
Yeah.
you're spinning around like that, it could be G-lock.
First thing I'm going to do is
poisoning
get some fluids going.
Right now, all his blood is pooling inside his head. It's
G-lock.
pressing
I don't know if
against
that's a real
his
thing.
brain.
Or
It's
not.
cold.
Could be.
I think it sounds like a real term from...
We gotta get him stable enough for training.
Yeah.
He looks dead.
Running isotonic
Yeah.
fluids.
Wait, I feel like I know this
Right?
guy.
I've never said that.
No, nobody
My
does.
BP stabilizing.
Administering numbing drops.
We don't carry those either.
While you show these guests to their seats.
It's a good thing we give him some eye drops. That's all we need.
What are you doing?
Ooh, they showed more than the other clip.
Yeah. This is much more graphic. Look at them. They're all like, ew. And then look.
Cap,
I'm better now.
All right, let's get him up and transported to the nearest neurosurgery trauma center.
He's like,
Oh my God. Oh, you would pause that.
I can see Puggo pause it.
Who did this to you?
I feel like that's one of the stupidest things I've ever watched.
Everyone is dumber for having watched this.
I mean, like, no part of that was realistic. And I've thought too of like part of my business trying to go and help some of these companies or whatever, like almost as like a consulting, being like, again, maybe I'm assuming this is California, I think, where this is. Maybe their standards are different out there, but like
Standards.
Maybe their scope of practice includes poking eyeballs back into the head.
Can I ask a question as an innocent dumbstander?
Yeah.
So after watching these two clips, something finally hit me. It took two clips to get to me. But if you're going to push an eyeball in, I've never held an eyeball with any of my fingers. So I'm wondering, can you even put that much pressure into an eyeball, or does it not take much? Or
No, you probably can. I mean, but even still, just the way you push his eyeballs back in and he wakes up like that.
Yeah, like I'm conscious now.
Again, when they pulled him off, to me, he looked dead. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is like a pulse check. Like,
Yeah.
You got one?
Yeah.
No? Okay, cool. Then start going down my assessment algorithm or whatever you want to call it. And nowhere in there is pushing eyeballs back in the head, a treatment to bring somebody back.
And also, too, the way he's spinning, he's locked forward. Like, if he was that limp, he would be like...
Yeah, you think you'd ragdoll off or whatever.
Like,
yeah.
He was holding on for dear life, so props to him, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, he nailed it.
Yeah.
He nailed the prank or whatever.
I mean, the way he's positioned, I could tell he did not skip legs day.
No. But yeah, go ahead and continue the clip.
I can see. Thank you. Who did this to you? Oh, I have an idea.
Oh. Just random guys in the
Yeah,
bushes.
so it said Los Angeles, so we're California.
Sure, he's fine. Maybe we should go to the hospital.
Afraid you're going to be otherwise occupied. You're under arrest for trespassing, vandalism, reckless endangerment, and disturbing the peace.
Tough cop. Laying down the law. Good job. Yeah, that clip just got me because of what happened. So this isn't the only one. I keep coming across all these clips where they're pushing eyeballs back in.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is. It's like every EMS show or every medical show has this thing where they're like pushing people's eyeballs back in.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And I don't remember learning that in school,
No.
in class, like granted, it's been a while since I was in med class, but, I don't remember learning it.
Yeah. So, Brian, who's the other guy that's on the show regularly, he was talking about it. And when he said it, I did remember them saying something about putting a cup
Yeah. I mean, you're
the
going
eye
to
and tape it.
cover them. And then typically if you have an injury to one eye, you want to cover both because your eyes track. So if you injure one eye and you look and it wants to move.
Yep. That's a good point.
It wants to move both. But, or push them back in. Cool
That
too.
was pretty rough. Yeah. You come across somebody that's limp like that and just staring, check for pulse.
Yeah, again, that was my first thought. I was like, man, that guy looks dead. It wasn't like, oh man, I hope his eyes are okay.
Yeah. That's a good thing to remember is to try to identify a life threat.
Yeah,
Like,
immediate life threat.
Your eyes can be completely out of your head laying on the sidewalk and it could not be a life threat. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
They
if
call it
there's-
like a distracting injury. Right?
Yeah, distracting injury. Yeah.
You see something like, oh man, that looks really bad, but it kind of doesn't really matter in the grand scheme because if you're not breathing, you don't have a pulse, or you're bleeding out, those things are going to kill you in a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Figure out the important stuff and then worry about not pushing somebody's eyeballs back into their skull.
Yeah, that was, and then the fact he just wakes up.
Yeah, that's what got me. Is like as soon as they're in, he goes, "Oh."
Yeah. What is that? It's the same thing again. Reference, these other movies you watch. It's like they do CPR and they wake up and they're like, "Oh man, that was great. I feel so much better."
Yeah,
and you're like,
oh,
dude, that's
thank
just
you.
not how it works.
They get they come back and then they're like hug them. They're like, "Oh," they're crying or whatever.
Yeah.
No, or what always gets me is the intra heart adrenaline injection.
Yeah, straight into the heart.
Yeah,
that
this
was
needle that's this long.
It was one of these shows. It might have been this one. It was years ago. I was watching, and I think it was the first episode, and they did a pericardial centesis in the back of the truck driving down the road. And I remember learning about those in school, but it was like, we don't do these anymore. Especially you stick a needle in the heart and you pull out fluid from around the heart to help it beat better. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try that.
Yeah.
Let alone going down the back of the truck.
Bump.
So I was like, okay, we need to find that one because that would be a good one. That was like one of the first episodes that
of this show, Trauma.
no, I think it was. What's that? Like Chicago 911, maybe?
Oh,
or,
probably.
Chicago Med.
Yeah, no, it was like the fire one
Chicago Med
Chicago
is like
Fire.
the hospital
when it was
one.
like first starting out.
Yeah. Oh,
I swear it was like the first episode too, and I was like, because they have a lot of bad fire scenes too. That it's like, and I get you got to have production value and be able to see your people, but it's like,
I was watching.
very few of the fires I've been in is like, man, hey, what's up, guy? I can see you perfect. It's like, I can't see jack in here.
I was watching an episode. We'll react to it one day, but he literally, they get trapped in this fire and they can't get out, and he literally pulls off all of his gear and he's sitting there in the fire and he's like, "Hey man, I don't think we're gonna make it." I was like, "Well, now you're definitely not."